clean.
He said what?
Wash you, make you clean.
What did Isaiah say?
Wash you, make you clean.
Right?
Put away the evil of your doing.
Do what?
Put away the evil of your doing.
He said wash you, make you clean. So once you get baptized by the word of God, you're supposed to put away the evil of your doing. Right? Even back then when John the Baptist was putting different people's heads in water, you're supposed to change your ways and put away all the evil of your doing. Such as even pouring out women, right? All kinds of matters. Right? But people, when you deal with the Christian church, right, they've been baptizing people for decades and decades and decades. And what's changed in the black community? Right? Because it's a church on every block baptizing kids when they little, but nobody changed. You got the kid boys out here, right? You got game bangers, you got prostitutes, you got OnlyFans models, right? So those baptisms that you're going to in the church, it ain't changed a damn thing. Right? So you got to change your way according to the word. Bring this out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 9.
Oh.
Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way?
What did David say?
Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way?
Right?
By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
By doing what?
By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
By taking heed to the word, by listening to the word, by following the Bible. Now we got a few questions for you since you said you got baptized today, right? We got, right, go to Deuteronomy 14:8, right? Because there's a few things, it's commandments that you're supposed to follow after you're baptized. Right? And it said when you wash yourself, right, you got to take heed to the word. All right, bring this up.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 8. And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
What?
And the swine.
Right?
Because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud. It is unclean unto you.
So since you've been baptized, right, have you put away the pork yet?
The pork, the bottom feeder, everything.
All right. Give me the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 20. All right, you put away all the pork, the pepper on your pizza. Everything, the shrimp, the crab, the lobster, the catfish. All right, all praise. Right, bring this up.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So you know what day the Sabbath is?
Do I know what day the Sabbath is?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Right, so the Sabbath day would actually be right now. Right, it'd be the 7th day of the week. Saturday is the 7th day of the week. It's the end of the week. You're supposed to cease from all your labors, all your work. Right, you're not supposed to buy, spend, cook. You're not supposed to do your own pleasure. You ain't supposed to reverence the Most High. Right, are you
Keep the Sabbath day.
on that day? You ain't buying, spending. Is this your woman right here? Or
Yes, it is.
Wife? Okay, I'll praise. Right, so with that, right, you baptized, right, you can't be breaking the Sabbath out here. Today you want to just be chilling. You want to be relaxed. You want to be reverent to the word. That's what we stop. Right? And now with this woman, we have a real big question. Right? So you plan on making this woman your wife one day?
Yes, I do.
Right? Have y'all laid? I don't mean to get in y'all business, right? But we gotta get into it, right? Give me Genesis 24:67. Give me the book of Exodus 22:16. Right? Because it's a specific way that you're married according to the Bible. Right? Because when we deal with the Christian church, right, you got a lot of people baptizing people, but hey, the man that's baptizing people, what is he doing to the other women in the church? He's popping all the women. He committing adultery. Not all of them. It's a lot of them, but not all of them. We ain't gonna say everybody's doing that, but a lot of them do that. Yeah. Or you wouldn't have those stories going on.
That's true.
Right?
That's
So
like anybody else.
yeah, so they're hypocrites. Right? So bring this out in Exodus.
Look at Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16.
Get out.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed,
Right.
and lie with her,
Right.
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So if you lay down with this woman, hey, that's not your wife according to the Bible. You can't just go and freak off, and she can't just go and freak off with any other man. Or you can't just put her away and say, you know what, I just want to meet you for sex. Hey, the Most High God, and that's not being baptized. Right? Right, bring this out in Genesis, right? Give me
Genesis
23:17.
chapter 1 and verse 67.
24 and 67.
24 and 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent,
Right?
and took Rebekah.
And do what?
And took Rebekah.
Right?
And she became his wife.
She became his wife. So when he laid down with that woman, she became his wife. So if, if you're dealing with this woman and you lay down with her, so-called baptized, are you going to take heed to this? You're going to live with her all the days of your life. Are you going to take care of this woman? Are you going to lead this woman in righteousness and show her how she must serve God? Right? We don't want to see, just top her and God ain't dealing with each other no more. Right? You don't want to move like that. Sorry, so far. Yeah. But
Book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 21.
Go.
Stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
The Lord say,
Stumble not at the beauty of a woman,
right?
and desire her not for pleasure.
He's saying desire her not for pleasure. Meaning you don't want to just use it for the sex that she comes to, right? You want to lead her in righteousness. So that's what it means to be baptized, right? By following these things that's in the Bible. Not just, generalizing and saying being obedient. Because people say they're obedient to God, and they go contrary to everything that God teaches. Right? So that's why we have to come up and ask you, right? With that being said, right, we got to get back to showing you that you're an Israelite. Right? Because that's the most important thing. And you should be telling her right there, say, woman, hey, come learn this. This is important for us. Right? And if she's truly down with you, right, she's going to listen to what you're saying. Right? So let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 1 and verse number 20. Baruch 1 and 20. Right? Give me Baruch 4 and 6.
Book of Baruch, chapter 1 and verse 20. Wherefore the evils cleaved unto us,
right?
And the curse.
And the what?
And the curse.
What the Lord say?
And the curse,
right?
Which the Lord appointed by Moses his servant at the time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt.
Right? So it's a bunch of curses that's upon the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because they disobeyed God and what he gave to Moses for them to follow. Right? They broke all the commandments. They were committing idolatry, worshiping other gods, going to the churches, getting baptized, right? Not truly ever changing their ways, right? Etc. Right? So he got a bunch of curses that's upon our people, that's destroying our people. We're gonna go through some of these curses to prove to you that you are an Israelite. Right? Let's go to the book of Baruch 4 and 6. Bring it up.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter
Listen to this last one. 4 and 6.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse number 6. And it reads, ye were sold to the nations.
What the Lord say?
Ye were sold to the nations.
What happened to black people?
Ye were sold to the nations.
Right, so what happened to black people when they got off those ships, right? And they was, they was getting tossed to and fro all across the world. What was happening?
We're losing everything. We're losing our culture, our history.
Right.
We're getting displaced from our land.
Right? And that's in the Bible. Yeah. Right? That's showing you that you're an Israelite. He said you were sold to the nations. We were sold to the so-called white man as soon as we got over here. We sold by the Africans. Then got sold to the so-called white man. Then got sold to every single white man for 15 cents on the dime. All right? So these are the curses that's being appointed unto our people because we don't want to keep the Sabbath day. Because we don't want to stop eating shrimp, crab, lobster. Because we want to whore our women out and our women want to be prostitutes. And everybody want to disobey God and his word. Right? Keep reading.
It's not for your destruction,
right?
But because you move God to wrath.
Because he did what?
You move God to wrath.
Right? And our people wonder why we can't get out of this predicament and these plagues are still on us. Right? That's the travail that Isaiah was just speaking about, man. That's the travail, right? That's the plagues, right? Being sold to the other nations because we moved the Most High to wrath, man. And we don't want to fix it, man. Right? We want to just go out here and freak off, man. Be bow-legged on Bradford Beach, right? And then just do all sorts of wickedness and madness and say we was baptized today so we can try to get a free pass. And the servants of the Lord not going to give you a free pass if you out here in wickedness, man. Right? The same way the same way the servants of the Lord was getting on Adam and Eve is the same way we're going to get on y'all, man. Right? Go to Genesis 3 and 18. Right? Hold that. Right? And I want you to go to Amos 5 and verse number 10. Huh?
Sister from we was talking to them.
Oh yeah, All right, bring that up.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 18.
3 and 8.
3 and verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord God.
You got 5 more seconds for us, sister?
I'll talk to y'all.
Talk to us.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Right. So you got 5 more seconds to talk about the Bible with us. Let's learn with each other. Come on, sister. All right. Nobody want to learn the Bible today, man. Nobody want to learn about God. They all about working and selling free iPads and voting for damn President Biden and Trump. Right? Stop doing that, man. It's madness. It's evil. Right? You got 5 seconds for the Bible, sister? Or you gonna keep walking and disobeying God's word? You're just gonna keep walking, disobeying God's word and walking around like a whore. All right? Bring this up.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day.
Right.
And Adam and his wife hid themselves.
And they did what?
And Adam and his wife hid themselves.
Right, just like we was going into earlier. Right? The people want us to not rebuke them. Right? But we're going to rebuke them like the servants of the Lord rebuked Adam and Eve, man. Right? While all of our people continue to walk past, they hiding themselves and staying in their wickedness, man. Staying in their way, man. Because they don't want to hear the words of the Lord. Right? They hate this. Right? Bring this up. 5 and 10.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 10. They hate him that rebuke in the gate.
What the Lord say?
They hate him that rebuke in the
What did he
gate.
say about our people?
They hate him that rebuke in the
They
gate.
hate us because we out here rebuking them, man. They hate to hear these words. Essentially, they hate the Most High God, though. Right? But if this so-called Asian man will tell them what it is, right, they going to listen, man. They going to disobey the Most High God, disregard the servants of the Lord, and follow after a Moabite. A nasty, stinky, garlic-smelling, dog-eating Moabite, man. Right? Keep reading.
And they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
They do what?
And they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
Right? They hate the truth, man. Right? They hate the truth that God is telling us, man. Right? Because it's gonna convict their spirit. Right? Because everybody know they're not supposed to be eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. Everybody know that they're not supposed to be prostituting themselves. Everybody know that they're not supposed to be out here just freaking off and dealing with all these different ideologies, man. Right? So they abhor that because it's gonna cause them to live uprightly and not live according to the flesh. Right? Keep reading.
For as much, therefore, as your treading is upon the poor,
Right.
and ye
Go
take
back to Baruch. Right? And I want you to get back into Isaiah because I still got more. Right, and this brother right here, he's just going back and forth. First he was with a white woman. She must have abandoned him for another white man. Right? And now he on a skateboard. Right, how y'all doing? Y'all speak English? Yeah. English? You believe in the Bible? Yeah. What do you know about the Bible? We got a question. Who is this man right here? I need you to answer that for me. I don't know. I need to learn. Learn about the Biblia. The Biblia. Alright. They don't speak English.
Baruch 4 and 7. For ye
Real quick,
provoke.
sister. Y'all got 5 seconds for the Bible? So what we out here doing is we teach our people who they are according to the Bible and who they must not be following according to the Bible. Right? So with that being said, we got a question about who is this man right here? The devil. That's the devil? Even without the horns, who is that? For what? I don't know. That's the truth, sister. That's not Jesus according to the Bible. Jesus actually looks like everybody that's in this circle. He looks like a black man, a Native American, right? He doesn't look like the so-called white woman and white man that's right here in these skateboards, right? So that's what we come out here to teach our people and teach them the truth. But our people, they don't want to listen to that because they're hard at it. Right? Let's go to the book of Acts 7, verse 51. Right? Acts 7 and 51. We Daniel chapter 9 and 11. I want you to hold that.
Book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 51. Ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, ye do always resist the Holy Ghost.
That's what our people do. They stiff-necked. And they just gonna keep walking however it is. They ain't gonna turn their head and listen. Right? So that's why it's a beautiful thing that you took your time and came and listened to brothers. This is the word of God coming out right now. There's a lot of theology that's going on in this video. Right? So bring this out. So with that being said, we're going to teach you how you will be an Israelite according to the Bible. You ever heard about the Israelites? I've heard. What do you know about the Israelites? Nothing. Right? So we're going to edify you about the Israelites, their customs, their laws, how they must conduct themselves, and the things that they're going through in the world today. Right? So let's bring this out in Daniel 9 and 11.
Book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
Right? So he said the curse because Israel, the Israelites, right, they disobeyed God's law, right? They disobeyed God's law. So now there's a curse upon them because they don't live godly. They try to live like everybody else that they live among. So how would you say black men live in America and Hispanic?
Not listening to what God says, not doing what He says, and follow His rules, and it's very clear about what He says.
So I got a question, right? Whose rules are they actually following? The devil, right? On a more basic level, right? How would you say, like, walking on this earth, are they following?
Some is following Jesus, some is following the devil.
Okay. Right? So we're going to explain, right, what we're saying, right? So let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 3, and verse 3. 3 and verse 3. Right? Actually, go to Zechariah 11:5. Right? We're going to show you some of these curses first before we hop into this. Right? Zechariah 11:5, Job 15:28.
Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them, right, and hold themselves not guilty.
Right? So he said the possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. This is a curse that the Israelites are going through. They was going through this back then, during the time of the Persians, the Medes, during the time of the Babylonians, during the time of the Greeks, right? People that ruled over us, they would kill us and get away with it, right? And continue to prosper in this land. Right? Who is that happening to today? Give me an example. Right? Of somebody killing somebody and getting away innocent. Police. That's exactly what they're saying. The police. Right? The police are killing our young men, our young women for no reason and getting away with it. Right? They're killing them. They be unarmed. Like George Floyd, right? He's unarmed. He got a knee on his neck saying he can't breathe. Right? You got other young men, right? They don't have a weapon. They try to reach for their wallet, right? And now they got 60 bullet holes in their stomach, right? That's what's happening to our people. That's the curses right there, right? These are the things that are happening to our people, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach 4 and verse number 10. What you holding? Job 20. Keep holding that. Job 25 and 15 and 28. Right, but give me all right.
Chapter 4 and verse number 10.
Oh,
Be as a father unto the fatherless.
The Lord say?
Be as a father unto the fatherless.
Right, so our people, right, what would you say, right, like when we talk about the black household or Hispanic household, what would you say is missing? Father, right? So that's why the Lord was commanding us to be a father unto the fatherless. Right, we have to be a father unto the fatherless, give a lot of young men guidance, give a lot of sisters guidance, right? Because if not, they gonna go off what they see, and then they gonna go abroad, and now they not gonna live godly. Go to Proverbs 22 and 6. Proverbs 22 and 6. Right? So that's why we gotta follow this Bible, because this is actually our history. This is actually our heritage, and it's important for us to get back to, so that we can fix the black community, so that we can fix the Hispanic community, the Native American community, live in unity, and depart from all the evil that come with this world. Right? Bring this up.
Proverbs 22 and verse 6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, right? And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
And that's the problem, right? We forgot about that, right? Because in these curses, right, it says be a father unto the fatherless, because a lot of our men, they go to jail, they die, or they just abandon they found in their kids, right? So let's go back to Job 15 and 20. So these are the curses that we constantly going through and seeing, right? And they're showing our people who they are. This is how you learn that you're an Israelite, through these curses, right? Through these curses, it proves to you who you are according to the Bible. Okay. Right? Because go to Deuteronomy 28 and 46. Right? Bring this up.
The book of Job, chapter 15 and verse 28.
No.
And he dwelleth in desolate cities.
He said what?
And he dwelleth in desolate cities.
He said that the so-called black men, Hispanic men, they didn't dwell in desolate cities. What does that sound like to you? You know what the word desolate means? It means like it's just nothing there. It's destroyed. It's all tore down. Hey, Milwaukee is a desolate city. It's a lot of abandoned homes, abandoned businesses, Section 8 trash all over the place, violence, right? He says, so the Israelites, they dwell in desolate cities. That's a curse right there as well, right? Keep reading.
And he dwelleth in desolate cities, and in houses which no man inhabiteth.
He said in houses which no man inhabits, right? Not meaning like, what block do you live on?
Not 34th and Burlock.
34th and Burlock. Hey, the so-called white man or Asian man, hey, he's not gonna come and live over in that area.
Right.
You got abandoned homes over there, right? You got trap houses over there, right? All kind of stuff, right? The so-called white man, right? Those are the men that aren't gonna, dwell in those houses, right? First and Buffalo,
Right.
3rd and Keith,
Yeah.
30th and Atkinson, right? All these places, exactly, right? So they not gonna come and dwell in these places because that was appointed unto us because we broke God's law. So now we gotta suffer in the city. You got drugs, you got gang violence, you got prostitution, right? You got trash everywhere, you got crackheads everywhere, you got all sorts of madness going on because we decided to depart from God. Right? What I got you holding?
Deuteronomy 28, 46.
Yeah.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 46.
Bring it out.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and
For
upon
what?
and for a wonder,
Right?
and upon thy seed forever.
Right, so he said these curses, right, they will be upon your people for a sign, for a wonder, right, and upon thy people forever. Right, so this is how you determine who the Bible is actually speaking to and who it's actually for. Right, go to Sirach 17 and 11. Right, so this Bible isn't actually for everybody, it's for you, it's for your children. Right, it's for us right here. It's for, you know, if we have children, right, etc. Right, so we can't just attribute this Bible to everybody because they're not going through the same troubles as us. Right, I don't know if you ever heard the phrase, you know, everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. Right? Hey, everybody want to live and take our culture and live how we live until it's time to get shot down by the police. So it's time to live on Section 8. So it's time to live off of EBT. Right? They don't want to be black. This is what prophesied in the Bible about what being black in America would be. Right? Because we decided to bring God's commandments. I'll bring this up.
The book of Sirach 17 and 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
For what?
For inheritance.
Right? So do you know what a heritage is, sister?
Something they did to
That's exactly what it is. Something that's given to you and it's passed down from your fathers and your fathers and your fathers. Right? So this Bible the law is the law of life. Right? This is your wisdom, this is your knowledge, this is your history. He said this is your heritage. It's passed down to you. So when we see these curses, right, we wonder why not everybody is going through it because it's not everybody's heritage. Right? Asian people, Indian people. Right? They own all the stores in our neighborhood.
Right.
The beauty supply store,
Right.
gas stations.
What the hell happened to us?
Right, what happened to us? Every time those abandoned stores that we see, those are ours. They was previously our stores. Right, they was black-owned businesses and they got torn down now. Right, and the so-called white man, the banks, right, Chase banks, U.S. banks, right, they bought those things and they don't even use them.
No, don't.
Right, they take everything from us. Right, so this is your heritage right here. Right, so let's go to this book Luke chapter 3, verse number 6 real quick. You already there. Yeah,
The book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 6.
So, you know, with that being said, with being poor in America, right? What would you say is a big problem with being poor in America? You know, living under these laws. Yeah. And in what way?
Struggling more than the average person.
Right.
Taking our jobs, you know, taking our houses, taking our businesses,
taking the business,
and taking our streets.
taking our right. And what else? There's one more thing that you missed.
Taking our minds.
As you said, taking our mind. That's a big one, right? But also, right? Since you said they're taking the jobs, they're also increasing the cost of living and making us work at McDonald's, making us work at Burger King, Pick and Save, right? They're only giving people $15 an hour when a lot of people rent is $1,500. How are you gonna pay that? And then and you making all this, you making this little bit of money. Give me Haggai 1:6. You're making this little bit of money. And I don't know if you can pay every week or 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, right? They taking $300, $400 out of tax.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year,
giving us our credit thing no more doing the tax.
right?
They took that all away.
Exactly. Right? And we still subject to paying the taxes at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right? So I want you to hold that, but I want you to get this in Haggai.
Book of Haggai, chapter 1 and verse 6. Ye have sown much.
He said what?
Ye have sown much.
And we have worked much, right? Keep reading.
And bring in little.
Bring in a little bit of money, right? Keep reading.
Ye eat, but ye have not enough.
Right? We try to, working to pay all this food, trying to get all this money, go to Pick and Save. And I just got groceries the other day for $125. And I barely got any food.
Right.
It was madness, right? Keep reading.
$6 for eggs.
Right.
Ye drink,
Now $8 for a milk carton, right? Keep reading.
ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink.
Right?
Ye clothe you, but there is none warm.
Reading.
And he that earneth wages,
He that what?
he that earneth wages,
Right.
earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
So every time, it's like we making money just to spend money.
That's the story.
Bills, groceries, food,
Ain't no money left.
gas, right? Ain't no money left, right? So that's what it's like. That's what these curses are. And you can't say this Bible pertains to everybody because everybody not working and putting their money in a bag with holes. They collect their money, pass it down to their children.
Yes.
We collect money just to give it to them. Right? So let's bring this out. Because we was talking about the tax of the will. Right? Bring this out. Baruch 3 and 6.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 6. For thou art the Lord our God, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name. Verse 8, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Right? He said we are yet this day in captivity. You know what captivity is, right? Slavery. Right? We mentally slaved in America, and we actually physically slaved, because we can't go nowhere without a passport. We can't go nowhere without no permission, without spending money. Right? You should be able to travel the world whenever you want to, because this is your world. Right? Keep reading.
We are yet this day in our captivity where thou hast scattered us.
He scattered us, right? You got black people in America, everywhere you go on the earth they is, right? Keep reading.
For a reproach and a curse,
right?
And to be subject to payment.
And to be what?
And to be subject to payment.
Lord say?
And to be subject to payment.
Right, so the person, right, being subject unto payment. Paying taxes at the end of the year is a curse.
Yes, it is.
Right?
I don't think we should pay taxes.
You know, according to the Bible, you're supposed to get paid every single day that you work. Before the sun goes down, you're supposed to get paid every day. But they say that they say one nation under God, and they put it on the dollar, and God we trust. But they paying you every 2 weeks. They paying me every week. Right? And taking money from me. Right? How am I supposed to live? How are we supposed to get by? You can't. It's an everlasting trap in this society, right? Because we departed from God, and now we have these curses on us. If we don't return back, nothing will ever change, right? You read it?
And praise thee in our captivity. Right. Oh, Salak, wrong verse. Verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
He said we departed from the Lord our God. So this is why these things are constantly happening to us, because we departed from God. Now everybody's still living ungodly, because they're worshiping white Jesus. They're going to the churches. A lot of our sisters, they selling their bodies. A lot of our men, they just using the women. A lot of men, they selling drugs. Right? These things are happening. They're killing each other, and they're making music off of them. These are this is why we suffer in this society. Right? Is there more on that? Right? I bring this out in Luke 16, and I want you to start where it says he was getting the crumbs, right? He was begging for the crumbs.
I'm listening in 5 seconds, bro. But I'm going to teach you a little bit.
Right, start around verse number... Start at verse number 7.
It's Luke 16 and verse number 7. Then said he to another, and how much owest thou? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, take thy bill and write for fourscore. And the Lord commanded the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in the generation wiser than the children of light. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, that may receive you into everlasting habitations. Verse 10.
Let's talk about Lazarus, right? Well, keep going, right? Bring this up. Go to Jesus. Go to Bruce Forest. Yeah, 19. Yeah, start at verse 19.
Luke 16 and 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen.
Right? So that certain rich man that's clothed with purple and fine linen is known as the so-called white man. The Romans, right, was that during that time of Christ, when Jesus Christ was living, right, they were that man with purple and fine linen. Right? They were the ones they was living the best. And America, they descend from the Roman Empire. Right? They actually came historically, when you go through the history, they came from the Roman Empire. When you look at all the buildings, and even when you look at the people, right, they come from those people. Those are their children. Right? So keep reading.
And fared sumptuously every day.
They did what?
Fared sumptuously every day.
And that means they profited and they lived well every single day. They were living good off of our destruction. They fared sumptuously every day. They didn't have nothing to worry about. They didn't have to worry about if they was going to get paid or not. Whether the damn, the federal government was going to take $300 or $500 of their tax. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 20. There was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
There was a certain beggar named Lazarus. So Jesus Christ, right, he's doing a parable meaning it's not everybody's gonna be able to understand it, right? So only a certain amount of people understand it, right? So when he's talking about Lazarus and the rich man, it's not actually Lazarus and some rich man. So the rich man, like you said, it's the so-called white man, and Lazarus would be us, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Keep reading.
Which was laid at his gate full of swords.
Laid at his gate full of swords. And they just all beat up and bruised and destroyed, right? They not living healthy, right? They sick. They just at the bottom, right? Keep reading.
And desiring to be fed with the crumbs.
What do our people do?
And desiring to be fed with the crumbs.
Read it again.
And desiring to be fed with the crumbs.
Right.
Which fell from the rich man's table.
Right. So our people, even back then, right, and just as much now, we're begging for the crumbs. What do you think crumbs is when you deal with like money and just life in this society at all? What do y'all say crumbs would be in this society? Small what? Small pieces.
That will give to the people,
Right?
to make them feel that they're equal.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Section 8, that's the crumbs. EBT, that's the crumbs. Welfare checks, that's the crumbs. Begging for a raise for 25 more cents. If you was making $16.25, now you're making $16.50. That's the crumbs, and they making $250,000 a year. That was the crumbs that our people are begging for. Even back then, they was doing that. Right, so these are the curses that's on our people. This is how you will know that y'all will be Israelites according to the Bible. Right, because these curses only pertain to them. Right, we the only ones that's begging. Even when it comes to civil rights and freedom, right, we're begging for a little bit of freedom, but we still mentally enslaved because we still living according to how our enemies live. Right. How the so-called white man live, that's how we live. Right? Now we're going to continue to go on, right? Go to Baruch 4 and 6 now, right? Because it's other curses as well. We're going to get a few more, and then we're going to show you what Christ looks like according to the Bible, and then we're going to give y'all a few commandments, and we're going to let y'all, enjoy the rest of y'all Sabbath, right? So does it make sense that y'all are Israelite based off of those scriptures we was going through? Yeah. Make a lot of sense, right? From begging for crumbs, living at the bottom, being cursed in the city, and dwelling in desolate houses, can't get nothing, subject into payments.
Pay your money in the store, money, you ain't got no more money.
You got nothing. Right. You getting loans and all this stuff, right? So let's bring this up.
School loans,
So what happened to us, right? What happened to us when we came into slavery? Right? When we came into slavery in America, how did we get over here?
He was on the big Jesus ship.
He was on the ship, right? What else happened when we got off those ships?
They raped our ancestors.
They did that, right? What else did they do?
They sold us into.
They sold us, right?
And they slapped us with that book. They took the biggest, they dominate the most dominant man.
Hold on, brother. Right? Because if they gave us this book and everything is showing us that we're the Israelites in this book, then they didn't just give us this book. Hey, the Most High gave us this book, but just in another language, so that we can understand. Because you couldn't understand English when you came over here.
You ever know they took the most dominant slave?
Because you said so.
You know they used to make us fight and kill each other for money, right?
All right, bring this up.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nation.
He said we were sold to the nation. So we got sold from the Africans to the so-called white man. Came over here in slavery, right? And that was what you was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath.
Because we made God angry because we departed. Right, so
let's see what
show
he
you how you live. This is the only thing that makes sense. Right? It's no other thing on the earth, right? No other book and no other history that's yours but the Bible. This is your heritage. Right? Keep reading. Go to Jeremiah 17.
But because ye moved God to wrath.
Nah, you can jump there. Right?
Because ye moved God to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemy.
Right? We was delivered unto the enemy. Right? Because they don't look at us like friends. They don't look at us like family.
That's real.
They look at us as an enemy. That's why they're destroying our people.
Right.
That's why they put
our people are their enemy.
Right. That's why they put crack in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Put guns in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They put police monitoring the damn neighborhood 24/7, but they don't actually help. No. Right? You actually call the police. They taking 2 hours to get there, and now the kid is already dead. Now the woman is already dead. The crime is already committed, and nothing is stopped. Right now, when we was following up the God law, as soon as that happened, we was on it. Right? that's when we was following God.
All we do is kill each other.
Exactly. All we do is kill each other because we living like the so-called. We was jealous of his ways and want to live like him. So now we kill each other. Go to Proverbs 3 and 31. Proverbs 3 and 31.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. And it reads, envy thou not the oppressor.
What the Lord say?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Right, so our people have always envied the oppressor. Go to John chapter 2 and verse number 12. Right, everything that the enemy does, right, they try to do. They envy the oppressor, right? You can hold that in Proverbs. They envy the oppressor and try to live according to his ways. So that's when you said that, us killing each other, that's what the so-called white man do. He the one that's slaying us and killing us, like we read to this before, right? They slay us and they get away with it, right? And that's what our people do. They shoot you down, and now they on the hideout. And then they make it a music saying, putting in the music saying, I was smoking on him, right? Like, bring this up, right? Because this is another way of the oppressor, right? Bring this up to John 4:12.
Book of John chapter 2 and verse 12.
You know?
After this he went down to Capernaum,
Right.
he and his mother and his brethren and his disciples.
Right.
And they continued there not many days.
Right.
And the Jews' Passover was at hand.
Right.
And Yahushua went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen
Right.
and sheep and doves
Right.
and the changers of money sitting.
Right, so look at this as, you know, people, they in control of the money in the black community. Look at this as something kind of like Black Lives Matter. Right, they're getting our people to donate all this money for a so-called good cause. Right, but listen what he said. He called them the what?
And poured out the changers' money.
No, he said the money changers, he called them a den of what?
No, that's not good.
Keep reading it.
And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money and overthrew the tables.
Right, so Christ, he was mad at these people because they was doing something that's destroying our people. Right, what they were doing, right, they basically was scamming our people. Right, so Christ was mad at that,
Yeah,
so he
stole our culture.
No,
they stole our
this
stole everything from us.
Hold on.
I don't want
This
to
was
give
actually
them
our
no
people. This was actually our people doing this. This was other black and Hispanic people doing this to each other, scamming each other, taking the money from each other, and profiting off it. Right? Keep reading. So Christ was mad at that. He overthrew the tables. He was whipping.
I get mad when I say white man. Then they be playing our culture, our dance, our
right. Right. Keep reading.
You know.
Verse 16, and said unto them that sold doves,
Right.
take these things hence, make not my father's house an house of merchandise.
Right.
And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
Right. So what Christ had said, he said he made the Lord's temple a den of thieves. Right. So they stealing the money from the people. Black Lives Matter do that. Right. All these so-called black leaders, what they actually doing is stealing the money from the people. And why do you think nothing is getting better? Right. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Dr. Umar.
Politics.
Right, y'all probably never heard of
That's a
Dr.
word.
Umar, but he was always talking about
Politics.
building schools in the black community to help them. But he still ain't built a school, but he's still out here doing interviews. He living good.
Right.
Black Lives Matter, right? Y'all probably never heard of this, right? But this happened a few years ago, right after the George Floyd situation, right? A lot of the black leaders that was leading that organization, right? What they did, they took the money. Right, and they was buying houses with them, buying extra properties to start real estate businesses. They kept the money, and they bought cars and clothes, all this fancy stuff. So it's the same thing our people doing. Those are the
SDC just did that.
I was there for that.
They scam all the people who live in there. We filled out our taxes.
He was saying all that Black Lives Matter crap,
There.
and he just kept the money when he got rich, and then he got like a little fame from it. And
That's
they
my
put him on
cousin.
camera.
So
He left. I've never seen him on the scene anymore.
So with all that being said, right, with all these, scriptures that we done brought out, what would that make you? What would that make your race according to the Bible? Because he said these are certain people. He said, look at this list, right? He said these are the people that's going through these things. So what would that make your race according to the Bible? Not American black, right? Because black is just a word, right? Black is just a color, right? And it's attributed to our people to make them look bad, right? So what would God do, right? An Israelite, all praise, right? That's exactly what we are. We're the Israelites according to the Bible. That's
right.
Let's go to the book of John chapter 1 and verse number 47. All right? John 1 and 47. Where we get it first?
John chapter 1 and verse 47. Yahushua saw Nathanael coming to him and said of him, behold, an Israelite
What the
indeed.
Lord say?
Behold, an Israelite indeed.
Right?
in whom is no guile.
So the Lord said, hey, behold an Israelite indeed. Right? You sisters and you brothers, right? Y'all will be Israelites according to the Bible.
Right.
Based off of all those things and situations, the way they live according to the Bible, only the Israelites are going through those things. So that would make you an Israelite. Right? And with being an Israelite, if we want to change these things, right, and we want to, make our communities better, I mean, we got to change our way of living. Right? So what do y'all think some things of changing our way of living will help the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community?
Following God, following Him, trying to live right, reading and knowing what you need to do.
All right, knowing what you need to do. All right, let's go to the book of Leviticus 11:7. Leviticus 11:7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 8.
Right, so we're going to go through some of these commandments. This is important for our community. Right, this is better for our people. If we live like this will help our people. Go to Psalm 4:1. Right, keep reading.
And the swine,
And the what?
and the swine,
Right.
because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto
See,
you.
y'all know what swine is? Pig. The swine is the pig. So God said, because the swine is unclean, remember He created the pigs, right? He said it's unclean, so you can't eat it. It's unclean because all the food that it eats is destructive to your body. All right. So it's destructive to you. So you don't want to eat the pig, right? It's a bottom feeder. It'll get you cancer, all kinds of diseases, right? Keep reading.
Ye shall not eat of their
He
flesh,
said what?
ye shall not eat of their flesh,
Right.
nor touch their dead carcass.
Right.
These ye shall eat of all that are in the water.
Right.
All that have fins and scales shall ye eat,
Right.
and whatsoever hath not fins and scales ye may not
So
eat.
whatever, if you want it, y'all eat seafood? Kind of seafood. Kind of seafood. Yeah. Right, so God said, anything that come out of the waters that you want to eat, if you want seafood, it's got to have fins and scales. You can't eat shrimp, you can't eat lobster, you can't eat crab, you can't eat catfish, right? You can't eat mussels, you can't eat these things because those are also bottom feeders. Right, like you're not going to go down and crack
What we
open-
gonna eat?
You got turkey, you got chicken, you got fruit, you got turkey, chicken, vegetables, lamb, you got bison, right? You got a lot of different meats, right? So these things are better for you. Pick up some lamb. Next time you go to a butcher, a meat butcher, right? And go get some lamb instead of some shrimp. Kind of just season up the lamb however you want. Right, it's gonna be way better than that shrimp. I'm telling you that. Right, get you some salmon. Right, some tilapia. Right,
They said something about the tilapia.
people say that it's not real, but that's just made up. Right, but you want to go and get these things. These things are better for you. God said we can eat these things. All right, now bring this out. We're gonna give you one more commandment, and then I'm gonna pass it on to the next mighty brother that's gonna edify you and show you much more knowledge than me.
The book of Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 1. My son, defraud not the poor of his living.
Right, he said what?
Defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long.
Right, so if we did more donations to our people, to the poor of our people, and try to help them get off the streets, get off of drugs, and get them money instead of turning a blind eye to them, right, our people will live much better. Imagine if we had a big old bank account that all of our people could have whenever they fall on hard times.
Yeah.
Right, that's a commandment by God. So if we had something like that, you'll never see black people struggling. You'll never see nobody homeless. You'll never see anybody struggling to pay their bills because the Most High God, He will set up something for our people to, go and get money out of.
Yeah.
Right? And we've had that before, right? But our people were scamming each other. They were taking these things from each other, right? And the leaders was destroying them. The pastors was destroying them. They were taking tithes from the people, right? And not actually giving them to the people. All right, let's go to Jeremiah 23 and 1.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, and verse number 1. Woe be unto the
He
pastors
said, woe be unto the pastor.
that just
All right, and with that, I'm going to let him hop in there and he's going to teach.
So what you learn, sister?